Greetings, Instructor Mulk. I'm Matthew McKelvey, and this is my audience. In the front row, my wife Rebecca, Benjamin and Lucas, and in the second row, Andrew and Darren, friends of mine. What does it mean to be a good father? As a young boy, my view of fatherhood was, whether I was aware of it or not, I wanted to be just like my dad. My dad was a hard-working painter. At times he was a coach, at times he was a fisherman, but seldom was he home. For my mother and father were divorced by the time I hit adolescence. As I transitioned through my mid-teens and early adulthood, I was determined to be just like my dad. I was a hard worker. I was focused on my own needs. I lived alone. I circled myself with like-minded people. By the time I was 30, I was married, and it was 10 years before we started to have a family. When I became a father, I was uncertain of my abilities to be a good dad. As a dad, I had only my past experience to draw from. I worked hard to be a good dad, and I provided and spent time for our sons. But I was aware there was something absent. Something more was needed. I was confused. 6 years ago, my oldest son and I were discussing school and his future education, and he asked me, "Dad, where did you go to college?" I was unable to answer him. Knowing I needed to be engaged, I needed to be educated, if not for myself, but for the sake of our sons. This led me to a leadership institute where I started almost 3 years ago. But before I began, my sons drew up some cards to help guide me. The oldest one wrote, "Dad, raise your hand and don't shout out. Do your best and have fun. Be good to others and take your time." The youngest one wrote, "Dad, be a good listener and have fun. Raise your hand when you want to speak and get good reports. And take care of others and pray for them." Following those 3 years, I received a certificate in advanced biblical leadership. Following 8 months ago, I started at Ohio Christian University, where I seek to gain an associate's degree in general education. As I reflect back on my childhood, as I navigated through those adolescent years into adulthood, I can see that the guidelines our sons laid out for me will help them as well when they become fathers. For I will only pass on the kind of father that I am. Thank you.